Hello, everybody out there in Facebook land, TikTok world, everywhere that there is going to be a live version of this out there into the world. Welcome to the broadcast booth, everybody. Hopefully, you're doing great out there. I am Monty Anderson, your host here at 412 Productions, the art of Monty Anderson, and hopefully, you are doing good. Today's title is Did You See? And we'll get into what that means here in just a moment. Oh, dog days of summer, right? Dog days of summer. It's been about 110 degrees here in Arkansas. Don't forget to like, share, and follow as you get here. That helps us out, keeps us in that popular live category area, and keeps us bringing good content to everybody out there. As we normally like to do, because here we talk about horror movies, sci-fi movies, comic books, comic book artwork, my comic book artwork, and etc. We talk about all kinds of things. The only things we don't talk about, and if Casey was already in the chat, he would tell you we do not talk about the Pope or the Trump. We do not talk about politics or religion here, because anytime you do that, people lose their damn minds, and it ain't cool. So we keep those two topics to other people that are on the platform. How are y'all doing this morning? It is bright and early. We came on a little bit later just because I had some technical difficulties going on over here from previous day when it blew a breaker, because that's how hot it is. Good. Pickle, I'm glad you're doing good out there. Casey, welcome to the chat. You missed your cue on what we don't talk about here. But welcome and good morning. You are early, which is good. Like to see your face, your smiling, bright, smiling, shining, musical face here, buddy. You are a superhero in your own right. Let's see here. Bum, bum, bum. I gotta get to the right keyboard. I got multiple keyboards here. So we got a good out there, which is awesome. I was typing in something over here on the other computer because it's hard to use this computer when I'm recording. I can't use my phone because it's recording live, and then I'm over here with my other computer that gives us the information that we're looking for. So today's topic is Did You See? And that's not the little, Christmas song about the little star. Did you see what I see and all that stuff? No, not that little song. And big announcements um, from San Diego Comic Con for Marvel. Just yesterday at their panel, they announced Avengers Doomsday, obviously, which is the big one that's coming out, and then Ghost Rider, and who's playing the new Ghost Rider, which is Ryan Gosling, is going to be portraying Johnny Blaze in the Ghost Rider. Uh, he's going to have his own film, and I'm pretty sure he's going to be in, other crossover films as well. And then you got Black Panther 3 was announced as well. So that's a lot of big announcements right there on one platform yesterday. And I'm excited for them because Marvel does great movies. There you go. If somebody wants to help out Ball Boy up there for his being short on his DoorDash. But that's a lot of to unpack if you think about it. Because there were surprise appearances, There was by Ryan Reynolds in his gray Deadpool uniform, Deadpool costume, which, if you know where that comes from X Force. So, is there an X Force movie in the works? Because that would be cool. And that's the newer X Force, not the original X Force or X Factor that came out way back in the day, whenever, you know, certain members of the X Men broke apart from the X Men universe and created their own crew. Of course, X Factor was that crew, and then X Force was a different crew altogether as well. But David Johnson was announced to star as the grown up Prince T'Challa 2, if you will. Basically, his son taking over the moniker, if you will. But Ryan Coogler is returning as the director for this third installment, and it's going to release in December of 2028. So it's not that far away, but most all of these are 2027, 2028 release dates. Um, Avengers Doomsday, we're all ready for that one to happen. And you've got Pedro Pascal, of course, who's in everything. Because watching Game of Thrones, and boom, there he is popping up in Game of Thrones as a prince over there. And they showed the clip there at San Diego Comic Con of their beef between Victor Von Doom and Reed Richards, who Pedro Pascal is uh, playing. Playing Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic from the X Force, or Fantastic Four. Now, the Deadpool and Wolverine director, Sean Levy, is going to be directing the new Ghost Rider film. Again, starring Ryan Gosling. And if you don't know who Ryan Gosling is, go check out his film credits. He's got a lot to his name for a young actor. And he was officially confirmed, not just yesterday, but a day before that, because I remember seeing the announcement, like the day before yesterday or something like that. Or maybe it was yesterday when I saw it and just thought it was the day before yesterday. But there you have it. That's a lot to unpack for, one panel at San Diego Comic Con. And that's just a small list of movies that are going to be coming out, for Marvel, because they've already got, their slate stated for what's going to be coming out later. And it's a long slate because they've got a huge list of what they're going to be doing. And I'm just looking over some of the stuff that's out here that they're talking about. But that's the three major announcements that's coming out for Marvel, which is awesome because Marvel has always been one of the better superhero portrayals of their movies when it comes down to it. Now, in the early days, and I'm talking about Dolph Lundgren as the Punisher, um, even some of their TV series that they had back in the day, Captain America, Spider Man. Spider Man wasn't bad. That one was a good one back in the 60s. And then the Captain American was just kind of hokey, in my opinion, because they had like these rubber ears attached to the helmet that he wore, and so when he would run, the ears would kind of flop back and forth, kind of weirdly, and it was just like, okay, this is kind of crappy. I watched it, just like the Incredible Hulk, loved that one. Spider Man, loved that one. Of course, it was in reruns by the time I got to them. Hello, Tammy. How are we doing out there today? Are you heading to work? Getting ready for work? doing your little dance videos. You have a fun channel, and if you guys haven't checked her out, go check out her stuff, especially her vignettes from around Chicago, and her trips that she takes. She's a fun person to know and to follow. Um, but a lot of the stuff that like Sony Studios did and things like that just weren't up to par. Now there was some good stuff in there. There's the Spider-Mans were good, um, so on and so forth. And the X-Men were okay. I'm not gonna say they were great. Me being a big X-Men fan, they were okay. But when it came to the new slate of movies in the MCU, what they consider the MCU, which everything's going to be in the MCU pretty soon, they did things right. The right directors, the right actors, so on and so forth. And most of their movies are you want to watch. Now there's some filler movies that are just but some people still like them. And we'll take oh, what was the movie? Um, I'm trying to think of what. Almost had it, and it starred a ton of people in it. Um, from Salma Hayek to Angelina Jolie. What the hell was that movie called? Damn it. See, I can't even think of what the movie's called. Ah, well, it'll come back to me at some point in time, and somebody might mention it on here. Who knows? Um, but Marvel has done it right when it comes to movies. Now, when it comes to the DC side of things, eh, their movies kind of suck. Um, they haven't quite captured it yet. Um, now with their animation, phenomenal. You know, I'd watch their animation all day long. But when it comes to their movies, I just can't get into most of them. And we've talked about it here before many, many times that, they should have actors portraying the roles that resemble the actors over, or not the actors, but the characters from the actual comic book. And they try in a way, but it just doesn't come across the way that they intended it to, I guess. And I know that's a lot of people's hangups with DC movies is that number one, they try too hard. They try to match Marvel 100%. Of course, whenever you have some of the same directors, you know, that are flip flopping back and forth between movies on the DC side and the Marvel side, there is a trying factor. But DC just drops the ball when it comes to live action movies. And I know I'll get people that say, no, that's wrong. They make fantastic uh, comic book movies. No, they don't. You must be watching the animation because they make phenomenal animation. But Avengers Doomsday is going to have a whole cast of characters in it. Pretty much everybody you already know, plus some new ones. So looking forward to that. Excuse me on that. And like they said at the premiere of a new commercial, if you will, they had a star-studded cast assemble on stage, and they showed a picture of all the members from Doomsday that showed up at San Diego Comic Con just for this announcement. So that was pretty cool. I mean, three new movies 3 new directions. And of course, we already knew about Avengers Doomsday because it's been announced since last year at San Diego Comic Con when Robert Downey Jr. came out dressed as Doctor Doom in the green cloak, you know. And now he's got some intricate armor, according to a poster that was shown at San Diego Comic Con. And some intricate armor. He's got a symbolic wrap on one of his arms. I can't remember if it's the right or his left. And so there's something about that people are talking about. You know, what is the meaning of that? And we'll have to find out. Because, like, in the military or anywhere else, you put a black something on, it means it's fallen. This is a white rag of some sort wrapped around his arm. So, who knows what that actually means yet? We'll figure it out. They'll let us know. So we'll all be in wonder about that. But yes, tons of new stuff happening for the Marvel Universe. So if you didn't see, go check it out. It is out there all over the place. You can find it on YouTube. You can find it on the San Diego Comic Con actual website, which is a big website, so you can't miss it. That'll be some of the major announcements from San Diego Comic Con. And I've got a buddy that I used to work with that's actually out there as an artist. You know, he's doing great things in the world of art. So, doing better than I am. With his comics and stuff like that. Just found him again on Facebook. Sent him a friend request, and we are back in contact with each other. Because that was back in 2001. Between 2001 and 2007 when we got to know each other. Actually, he was part of my little anthology comic that I set up with a few people from work as well. And that was pretty cool that he's doing what he's doing now out there, big name out in the world. Of course, I don't think he's with the same wife that he was with back in that day, but that happens. I'm not with the same wife I was with back in those days either. So, but yeah, now it's lots of interesting stuff. Lots of interesting stuff. So, what's going on with you guys today? How are you guys doing out there? I know we're awake, that's for sure. Like I said, it's been hot here. I don't know if one of my ACs died that's in the bedroom or not, but we're going to find out. It might just be frozen up, but we'll see. If not, I can swap it out with the one that's in the front room. But then I've got to patch the hole in the wall because, you know, somebody was smart enough to put a window unit in the wall instead of in the window. So then I've got to patch up that hole. So that'll be fun. But, you know, when it's 110 degrees, you've got to do something, right? So, and that's a working air conditioner that's in the front room because we replaced it with a bigger one. And it's doing quite nicely in there. Only problem is I can't run my AC in here and the one that's in the front room because of how they've got this house wired up. Meaning that they have too many things on one circuit, on one breaker. So that was some of our technical difficulties from yesterday. It kept blowing a breaker every time because this air conditioner was on, the big air conditioner was on, and then that powers pretty much this entire office, the kitchen, and part of the wall in the front room. So, and some fixtures in, you know, ceiling fan and a light. So, it's powering a lot for one circuit, for one breaker. And so it just kept popping the breaker all day yesterday. And so we had to keep throwing it back on until we got it equaled out to where there's not enough juice being run to keep throwing it. So if you haven't had that problem before, don't. But the heat's not helping. Like I said, we're sitting at 110 degrees the next X amount of days. Um, and, we haven't even hit August yet. So, waiting to see what that's going to do. July is usually one of the hottest months, and it's proving that point because it's hit 114 degrees heat index. So, when they're calling for 103 degrees, then you're looking at about 115 to 118 degrees with the heat index. So the next 3 days here, it's supposed to be the high is 103 degrees, which means we're looking at close to, that 120-degree heat. So makes me long for Hawaii again. 76 to 78 degrees. Ocean breezes hitting you on a regular basis, pop up storms every day, right around the same time every day. Just phenomenal place to be. Now, if you don't like being, if you don't mind being landlocked or waterlocked, because you're on an island, it's a place to be to visit. I mean, I'd go visit again. Now, would I live there year round? I don't know. It's potentially possible because I could grow a lot more things there year round. But then it comes down to, well, what about Alaska? Well, there's a lot of mosquitoes in Alaska, especially for those 3 months that it thaws out. Um, as soon as that thaw hits, the mosquitoes are out. I've seen those shows. Mosquitoes are thick, like a curtain sometimes. It's like the flies here, you know, in the U.S. But that's something they don't have in Hawaii is flies and mosquitoes and things like that. Or I didn't see any when I was there. They do have mongoose to combat the snakes, so that's cool. Saw plenty of those mongoose running around when we were there for 3 weeks. But yeah, Hawaii would be a place to visit again. So where's that rich benefactor that's gonna send me some money to send a ticket up so I can go out to Hawaii, the girlfriend and I. I need that sugar daddy out there. Oh lordy. So last episode we talked about who was your favorite. You know, we didn't get a whole lot of answers. We got a few here and there, and that's anything in life. That's your favorite author, your favorite actor, your favorite artist, your favorite musician. We got some good answers from Dennis and Roy and Casey, and a few others that were on that episode. Um, I did break out some pictures of my 8 foot that I talked about on the last episode. My 8 foot hand stretched canvas of Boba Fett. Built the frame, stretched the canvas, prepped it. I went out there and looked at it, and it's going to need a lot of TLC whenever I start it up again. Again, I'm hoping to raise the roof in here so that I can bring it in here and work on it on a paint station because I'm wanting to build a paint station up against one of these walls. Now, down here where we're sitting right now, it's not going to happen because this is going to be the comic book section. I'm going to build cubbies, nice wooden cubby rack area that houses each individual comic box and go from there. Because you want a more stable and solid base for your books and things like that. So that's why we're doing what we're doing. So, welcome to the show, Liz. How are you? I know you've been going through some things and it's understandable. But glad to see your bright, smiling, shining face here today with us, our favorite MP of all time. So there you go. And good morning again. Um, like I said, the big three announcements from San Diego Comic Con yesterday. Ryan Gosling is going to be starring as Ghost Rider in a 2028 release. Black Panther 3, December 2028 release, and of course, Avengers Doomsday coming out. We all know about those. Um, I know there's a small slate of DC movies going to be coming out at some point in time, but I'm not really that interested. I've got so many DC movies in my to watch list on HBO Max right now that I haven't even watched. Because so far, all the ones that I've watched have been a disappointment. Wonder Woman being an exception, it was decent. I'm not going to say it was great, but it was decent. Suicide Squad, I watched it, it sucked. Aquaman, I watched both of those, they sucked. Um, but that's my opinion. And she needs new movies to watch. Some campy horror from like the 70s and 80s. Um, Burial Grounds. That's on Tubi, I believe, is on Tubi. That's always one of my favorites. It's a campy. I'm trying to think. Risque um, horror movie, if you will. A very interesting movie, to say the least. Um, been watching. There's a lot of camp slashers on there too. If you're into like Jason Voorhees, Friday the 13th type stuff, there's plenty of those on there. There's about 5 or 6 on there that are camp slashers. Cheerleader Camp is one. Um, what are some of the other ones? I've got them on my phone, but I can't remember what they are right now. But if you're into that type, you know, those are readily available on Tubi. Let's see here. What have I been watching on Tubi lately? I mean, I've been watching all kinds of. I've been watching a whole bunch of older horror on Tubi, and I enjoy them because number one, no CGI. Number two, even though the prosthetics and things like that suck for the most part, it was still an effort over. Well, let's do CGI. That'll be better. As in today's movies, CGI, AI bullshit. Um, and I know CGI helps a lot of things when it comes to movies because outer space stuff, you're going to have CGI no matter what. I just remember back in the day when movies had, you know, real prosthetics, real this, real that, and they would make life size, and like with King Kong's hand, they made a life size to hold her in it, you know. So you got this massive built hand that she's trapped inside of, and things like that. And then tentacles from giant octopus and things like that. They would create these, out of a polymer of some sort, foam rubber or whatever, and they'd be slapping people in the face with these things, you know, as you're fighting it. But now it's all CGI, CGI sharks, CGI this, CGI that, and it's just like you can't even take a video of a real shark swimming in the ocean and incorporate it into your movie. It has to all be CGI sharks. And that's the bad rap with shark movies nowadays. Everything is CGI when it comes to sharks. 90% of them now. Now Jaws, when it was done, they did a mix. Of course, they had the animatronic side shark, plus they had real shark footage that they would mix intermingle with. And there's been a few movies that are like that have real sharks intermingled in, with their filming. But a lot of the movies now, Anaconda, the reboot, um, all that kind of things like that. It's just CGI is killing so many movies. It's not even funny. And I know there's some decent ones out there when it comes to some CGI, but 90% of the movies that have CGI and animals whatsoever, it you can just tell, and it looks crappy. Um, it's like watching Game of Thrones with their their CGI dire wolves. You know, yeah, they look decent, but could they have done better? You know, gotten a real wolf and just made it do what they wanted it to do and put it in the movie or the TV show. It is what it is. It's just like AI. People are still going to flock to AI. Speaking of flock cameras, those are getting a bad rap nowadays. But AI, there is a huge petition right now to stop AI data centers. And with good reason, you know. There's a petition going on right now or a bill that's getting ready to be brought about that's going to stop AI data centers from being here in the United States. They want it to be around the world, but I guarantee it's not going to happen around the world. And we're going to see, you know, who supports AI and who doesn't. I don't. Like I said, everything that's AI related, I have turned off. No AI here. And if you don't know what this is, Adobe Creative Suite 4. And if you don't know what year this was made, neither do I. Let's see. Copyrights. Dun, 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 where are you at? 2008. So some of you were born about the time this one was coming out. Adobe Illustrator CS4. This is their Creative Suite. This has every program imaginable known to man by Adobe on it. Illustrator, Photoshop, all that good stuff. But it's not on their cloud system. So I don't use AI with the new Adobe products because the new Adobe products have AI incorporated with them. And that's left a lot of drawing programs now. They are incorporating AI bullshit into it. And I'm not cool with that. So that's why I don't use the new stuff when it comes to Adobe. And I wish I could find the Adobe CS6 at a good price because people are stupid with the prices. I'm probably going to get a ding for that for saying that word, but whatever. They still want like $1,800 for the disc for CS6. Not happening. That's an old program. It needs to be about $50 or less. Now you can find the pirated software for it and find you a key for it and all that stuff, but I'm not going that route. But AI is just taking over everything. I get prompts on my phone. Do you want to turn AI on? Nope, sure don't. In fact, I want to keep it off permanently. Thank you. Now, with certain things, I haven't found it yet, but I probably can if I really looked hard enough. Google has AI bullshit to it. Bing has AI to it. And it's just like, if I could turn it off everywhere, I totally would. Because for me, it serves me no purpose. Everything I do comes from right here. Here's my AI. I draw the shit. You know? There ain't no cutting corners here. There ain't no, oh, well, that looks horrible. Let me really retype it in. Hold on. No. And again, don't forget to like, share, and follow as you get here. That helps us out. Much appreciated. And AI is just, once again, taking over way too many things, getting into way too many aspects of life. And if you don't believe me, you can just go search it up. What does AI help me with? What does AI do? You know, there's even all these apps that are just nothing but AI based apps. All these videos that float around on TikTok or some of the filters on TikTok, AI generated stuff. I mean, hell, even Facebook has the AI generated stuff that's like, well, this is what your picture would look like if you put it through our AI generator. Well, guess what? It's not going through your AI generator. But anywhere I can turn it off, it's off. My computers don't have it on there. And like I said, it keeps prompting me to ask me if I want to, use it. And I'm like, no, have no interest in ever using it. And it's fine if you do, and it's fine if you love it, but you're hurting yourself in the long run, in my opinion. Now, those that, you know, use it for art purposes, meaning not just illustration, but music, making movies with, things like that, that's where the wrongness starts. If you're using it for business purposes, okay, cool. If you're using it for finding diseases, cool. Or illnesses that can be stopped or prevented early, cool, awesome. But when it comes to creating everything that you do in life through an AI filter or an AI keyboard, AI whatever, AI prompts, you need to rethink some things in your life. Because AI is not the end all be all of everything. You know? Some of you will tell me I'm wrong, but whatever. I don't give a shit. Just like one of the last people on here when I was talking about AI was like, I will formally have to disagree with you on that. Okay, cool. You disagree with me. I'm not upset about it. You like your AI? I don't. So, that's your opinion. That's my opinion. And you will never sway me to the side of AI is good. AI is great. AI is the best thing since Betty White. I can't say sliced bread because actually Betty White is older than sliced bread. So, and if you don't believe me, go look that up. Let AI filter help you out on that one. But yeah, no, AI has no place in this house. Oh look, Roy finally shows up. 40 minutes late into the show. Wow. Did you finally wake up, or did you get off your other program? He's watching where his boy LeBron and his son are landing after their departure from the Lackers. He follows their career closely. He's a Bronny and Jams fan, so you know. What up, Roy? Welcome to the show. You got you some breakfast delivered in this morning, smothered in mayonnaise and ketchup and mustard. You've missed a lot of stuff so far. You've missed a lot of stuff so far. You can recap later. But welcome to the broadcast booth, everybody. Again, we've been talking about all kinds of things from Did You See, which was the Marvel announcements, to now we're talking about the AI bullshit that is taking over everywhere. And again, things that some people are trying to take a stance on and stop the data centers from being created and resurrected around the world. So, better late than never, boo. Well, like I said, you're gonna have to go back and watch the first 40 minutes of the show that you've missed, just to catch up. Good morning, Taticus. If you're joining us today, welcome to the broadcast booth. Welcome everybody that's here. I don't know who all is here. Not everybody is chit chatting, but that's okay. A lot of people like to listen and be here for support and things of that nature, which is awesome. If anybody's looking to part ways with a scooter or music equipment, Taticus Johnson will take them off your hands for a tattoo in the Fort Smith, Arkansas area. He is a tattooist, very good one at that. and he is looking to trade some artwork for, you know, artwork that you wear on your skin, all that good stuff. And air cheers, air cheers. And he is looking to trade some artwork, tattoos for, he'll do the tattooing, for a scooter or some music equipment and or video games. Video games, as the youngins say. Video games. So there you go. Taticus giving you a good shout out there for the Fort Smith, Arkansas area. Lost Life Tattoos is his studio off of Phoenix Avenue there over by Jerry Neal's Barbecue. So there you go. If you're in the Fort Smith, Arkansas area and you have a scooter you want to part ways with, a working scooter preferably, music equipment that you don't need anymore, and or video games, he will do you up some tattoos for a trade. He's into the trade business as well, the barter system. One of the oldest systems we've ever had in the world. And it needs to continue on this side of the world, instead of just in Alaska. Because the barter system is alive and well there. But here, money talks first. And that's not how it should be. We should bring the barter system back 100%. Because it's a great thing. You got something I want, I've got something you want. Let's trade across the board, And when a handshake used to seal the deal, now everybody's like, "Oh, did you wash that hand? Oh, I got some Germ-X for you. Oh." When did the world become a bunch of pussies when it comes to that type of thing? I've shaken many of people's hands that are dripping with sweat, that are mud or greasy filled, in my entire lifetime. And it's like, why do we shy away from it? Oh, because doctors say that this is bad. This is bad. Oh, this is bad. You know how many of us have a great immune system because we used to eat mud pies growing up? Your face was planted in the dirt somewhere on a regular basis as you're spitting out gravel and rock and dirt and whatever else was in all that. How many bugs we've eaten in our lifetime. Thank you for the gifts out there. Those will go back. All that 32 cents will go back into the printing process of great stuff like this and other things. But yeah, no, it the barter system needs to come back here in the lower 48, as they say, from Alaska. And it would be cool to see it back. I know there's some places that do that, and not very many. It's just like Taticus there. His tattoo studio. He will trade with you. He will. If you got something he wants, he'll make you a deal on a tattoo. It's just like me with other artists. If you want to trade artwork, let's do it. You know, that's what I did at the conventions. At the end of the convention, after their final sales were done and stuff like that, we would get in there and we would trade. You know, well, I'm glad you've got a collection out there. FBI will be hunting you down very soon. And no, my skin is my skin, so I wear it well. So, and you're not Buffalo Bob or Buffalo Bill or whatever the hell his name is. So, and you're not any of the serial killers out there. I don't give a shit. Voodoo don't scare me. In fact, I'm getting a voodoo doll sent to me pretty soon. So there you go. To go with my other haunted object here in the house. To go in my haunted house. So, if you want to do some voodoo that you do so well, Ivana, that's cool. The hoodoo, the voodoo that you do so well. Oh, we're getting some characters today. Awesome. Awesome. So we've got a serial killer on the broadcast today. We've got a voodoo priestess over here. Let's see what else we got. We got a musician, fantastical musician. Let's see. We've got and we're cousins. Who's cousins? Me and Ivana. Okay, cool. That's awesome. I'm glad you guys are cousins. Hopefully, you guys are practicing out of Louisiana, where things go missing all the time. Been there many a times to Louisiana, helping find bodies, things of that nature. Especially during that Katrina time, you know. That would have been a good time for you to stock up on some skins, buddy. Again, things like that don't scare me at all. Oh, Lordy. Good times, good times. So, how are you all doing out there? Besides making bodysuits out there and doing practicing voodoo, you know, those type of good things out there in life. Casey, what are you doing this morning? I don't know if that was an orb or if that was a bug. Saw it on the other recorder. Again, I live in a haunted house, so and I've seen demons, so not much scares me anymore. Again, I live in the Fort Smith, Arkansas area, so you know, I'm just listening. Eyes be good. How's about you? I'm great. Um, Short of hoping it's just a frozen up air conditioner in the bedroom. You know, we are at 28.7 thousand likes, which is great. Puts us in the popular live category amongst serial killers, apparently. And but yeah, hopefully it's just a frozen up air conditioner and it's going to continue to work so I don't have to do a whole lot of more work, such as remove the one from the wall in the front room and then replacing and patching the wall because it won't serve any purpose anymore, which is what I'm hoping to do eventually anyway. Well, thank you. Thank you. This is my creeper shirt. And Joe who? Joe Rogan? No, there's no Joe Rogan here. And from Jeepers Creepers, the creep, one of my drawings. This actually I did a lot on a live one time. The girlfriend actually suggested it during one of my lives, and so we drew it up right there in front of everybody because that's what we do. We draw stuff. We homestead, disabled veteran, and just have fun with life. Go kayaking now. We got 3 kayaks, and we've taken 2 of them out on maiden voyages. We haven't taken the third one out yet because it's the sit-in style. The other ones are sit-on style. And we're actually looking for some more. We're actually looking for one that is actually outfitted for fishing specifically. Um, but they're a little bit more expensive than what we've been finding so far. But we'll find one, and we can outrig these for fishing as well if we really want to. But I've got some decent bass off of the blue one, and she's in the yellow one. The yellow one is faster, just because the blue one is designed. It's more like a bodyboard style, if you will, because it's got a a fat ass on it with a tighter front, but hers is a canoe style of her kayak, and so hers is designed to cut through the water faster. Mine has a little bit more drag on it, so I don't mind that. It just takes you a little bit more effort to keep up with the other boat, the other kayak. So we're trying to find some that are very similar in design and shape, um, just to cut through the water a little bit better. But we've been hitting the river a lot, the Vashey Grass Creek over here in the Lavaca area. There's a defunct state park over there, the Vashey Grass Park, that they no longer use other than for fishing purposes because they've blocked up all the trails and things like that. Um, so I don't know why they closed it down, but they closed it down. But it still treats it like the same, it still has the same park hours, though, unless you're fishing, doing overnight fishing and things like that. It stays open for those purposes. For those purposes only. Even though we know there's nefarious things that are gonna happen, because this is the world. Nefarious things happen on a regular basis out there. So there you go. But yeah. So hopefully my skin stays intact. I just know that they're not gonna make it 10 feet inside the door if they were to come for me. So, if you know, you know. Because I can reach something in a matter of seconds, no matter where I'm at in the house. And it doesn't have to be a water gun either. I've got other cool things hanging around, if you get my drift. If you've ever seen the tour of my house before, you know what I've got. It's fun stuff. Think Game of Thrones stuff. Think William Wallace. Fun stuff. And again, voodoo, like I said, doesn't scare me, period. So, oh, oh, wait a minute. Oh, they must be. Oh, no, I'm just kidding. Sorry, that was just gas. Oh, people, man, people are just strange. I'm strange myself, and I don't ever want to be normal, and I don't ever consider myself being normal because of the stuff I'm into, you know. But then you've got outlandish, like what was just here. I don't know if they're still hanging around or not, but whatever. Um, I just have to laugh at stuff like that when it comes through because you can't get angry about it because if that's what people are into, that's what people are into, and it's to each their own. It's whatever. I I have no ill will towards anybody, and I really don't. A lot of people probably think I do, but I mean, I don't even have ill will against my ex who turned my children against me. You know, I wish her the best, and she's already remarried. Congratulations. I hope he can handle her. Absolutely 100%, and hopefully she doesn't financially drain him. You know, but those people that harbor ill will towards others on a regular basis or want to do harm towards other people, I just don't get it. Why do you have that much pent up, anger towards somebody whenever they probably already forgot the whole incident altogether and aren't even giving it two shits worth of anything? but you're the one sitting there harboring that anger and just eating yourself up inside. I just don't get it. When there's better things to do with your time, get out in nature, enjoy some nature. If you like outdoors, get the fuck outside. You know, if you enjoy watching bonbon eating contests by the Arkansas Razorbacks, go for it. You know, um, that's their championship right there. I mean, that's for you, Roy. That's for you. All for you right there, Roy. The bonbon eating championships right next to the basket weaving championship. You guys got it down. You guys got that stuff down pat. Because when it comes to baseball, football, or anything else, you guys don't got it. Um, uh, gotta love my fans. Gotta love my fans and friends. If you're here, you're a friend. 100%. Again, I have no. Oh, Squatch, if you're here, welcome back. Can't forget that name. And but yeah, no, we've been talking about all kinds of things today. From, obviously somebody wanting to wear my skin as a skin suit. Like I said, try to get 10 feet inside my door. It won't be pretty. Um, and the Marvel announcements of the big three that they just dropped: Avengers Doomsday, Black Panther 3, and Ryan Gosling starring as Johnny Blaze in Ghost Rider. Again, two of those movies coming out in 2028. I think Avengers Doomsday is slated for 2027 release. I think it could be 2028 release. I don't know. They didn't give a date release on it, but I thought it was 2027, but it could be 28. And then we talked about all the AI bullshit that's out there that people love to embrace for whatever reason. Yes, I'm a smart ass, and I try to be. Um, but asses are pretty smart. They hold back a lot of shit. But and so lots of stuff we've talked about today, and it's just been he loves you too, and that's again something we don't talk about here is politics or religion, just because people lose their damn minds over all of it. But yes, we understand that, and you should use Yahweh over Jesus. But anyway, if you know, you know. If you don't, I'm sorry. But people love their AI. That's why you see it so much happening everywhere. From chat GPT stuff to AI videos to pretty much any gaming app that you see. Jim Bob, we love you too. And every fucking app that's out there is using AI of some sort. People are now making their flyers, and they're all starting to look the same. AI generated flyers for whatever they're doing, and it's just like, why? Why do you want this shit? On a regular basis. I know we're beating a dead horse. People are gonna love it or they're gonna hate it, one or the other. I'm on the I do not like it side. Can't really say hate. I just don't use it, and I never will. Being a natural illustrator, graphic designer who grew up on the programs before AI was ever even thought about being used in them, and still use my graphic design software that does not have AI integration in it, which I just showed you a minute ago, Adobe CS4. I would like to get CS6, but can't find it at a reasonable price for the original packaging with the serial key still attached without being used. I still, you know, do the whole hand drawn stuff. Book cover right here. Another novel book cover right here happening. I've got this huge, massive God of War piece sitting back here. I've got my Predator piece that I'm working on. I'm working on a logo that they've already done a AI version thereof, but they want my version instead of the AI version. Just like the person that did the Chat GPT thing, they didn't want Chat GPT to do their picture, so they came to me to have it done as a living, breathing artist. So to draw it up and not have a key prompt. Oh, well, I can do this real fast. Hold on. Okay. Oh. Okay, enter. Yay, I got a picture. No, not how it works here. But if you love your AI, more power to you. I will never sway you from AI, just like you will never sway me in accepting AI. So there you go. Hopefully, you all have a wonderful time out there. We are going to kill it. I hear some animals moving around. Yes, I homestead, which means I have animals here at the house. I hear them stirring up, so I got to let them out to go potty and all of that good stuff. But I do appreciate each and everybody being here, checking out the channel, including wanting to wear my skin as a suit. I mean, that's a compliment. That's a high compliment, you know. And wanting to use me for voodoo. So, oh lordy. For those of you just joining us, we've had someone offer to wear my skin as a suit because I had such pretty skin, and then the other one wanted to use me for voodoo practices. Yeah, I can only laugh, folks, for some of the stuff that comes on the channel sometimes. That's all I can do. Um, because, like I said, that stuff doesn't scare me. Bring it on, whatever. I live in a haunted house. I've seen demons, so you know, I've been to war. I, whatever. So anyway, as I like to say, as I leave you guys, we will catch you on the flip side. Have a good day, everybody.